everybody said to me, why have you done that? You've just committed like career suicide. But I have to be authentic. I have to be completely true. Like, I'd lived in shame and guilt for long enough.
On this episode of Spill the Tea with LLIB, we are interviewing the incredible Laura Evison. So Laura, can you share with our listeners a little bit more about your business and about your journey around business?
Yeah, so I'm in the accountancy sector. 2 businesses. One is a sole business, which focuses on zero software, accountancy software training, fixing messes that either business owners or other accountants have got themselves into. And I'm one of 3 directors in an accountancy practice called Point Accounting. We're based in Widnes. And yeah, we just love helping business owners with their journey. We want them to have a goal. We want them to have like exit plans, like prepare to sell, and to be making the business work for them rather than them working for a business, or we'd all stay as an employee, wouldn't we?
Absolutely. Do you think that's a big barrier for especially women in business at the minute, looking at the numbers and
I
looking at
do.
all of that?
Yeah, I see so many people, and I feel a bit hypocritical when I say this, because my journey, I started out by not having everything in place because I knew that it was now or never. I'd had a really bad experience in employment. I always knew I was destined to be a business owner. It's my passion. And I left work on a Friday lunchtime, walked out and had all my business set up by the Saturday noon.
Wow.
And had 4 clients by the Monday morning.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't have a penny to my name. I had my last month's wages, nothing. And I believe in myself. I back myself 100%. If I've got a goal and a vision, I'm going to achieve it.
And your goals and your visions for yourself, you are really empowering. Talk to us about your personal journey around business then, because it's something that I've watched since I've known you and something that has inspired me. But share a little bit about that journey with our listeners, if that's okay.
Oh, thank you for that, Claire. Yeah, do you know what? That's all I hope to do, is to inspire and empower. When I announced on LinkedIn and every other social media platform 21 months ago now that I was an alcoholic and an addict, everybody said to me, why have you done that? You've just committed like career suicides. Like, no one's going to want to work with you. But I have to be authentic. I have to be completely true. Like, living in a secret. I'd lived in the secret for long enough. I'd lived in shame and guilt for long enough. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to take everyone on this journey with me. I was literally like 2 days sober and clean when I announced that I was an alcoholic. And I thought, you know what, there's so many people suffering out there like me. We look like we've got it all together. I look like I'm successful as a business owner. I look like I'm managing all these different things, darting from one place to another. And I wasn't managing anything. On the surface, I was letting you think I was, but inside and my actual life was chaotic. Absolutely chaotic. It's a huge problem in a lot of sectors, but I do feel like the financial services is one. It's all about let's finish at lunchtime and go partying, go start drinking. All events are focused around alcohol. I've seen loads of bad things happen on nights out, like, as a team with people, and people getting fired on the Monday morning. And it was like, there's a problem here. It's like everybody's go-to. So yeah, I wanted to share that it's okay. It's okay to say I've lost my way. I've got a problem. I'm seeking help for it. And take people on the journey with you. And it's been incredible. It's been everything but what I was told it was going to be. There probably is some people who, have nerves maybe around working with me, think, what if she relapsed or whatever. But all the clients that I had at the time were absolutely so supportive. And now I think more people choose to work with me. Like, my businesses have grown exponentially since that. Yeah. I think everybody appreciates, as I say again, the truth and the authenticity. They know that I'm just going to tell them, how it is. There's not going to be any lies or anything.
So what did the chaos outside of business then look for you? So we've seen Laura showing up for work, doing a job, and then going home. If you don't mind sharing, like, what was that chaos like for other people, maybe to identify family members or friends who might be hiding that, and who needs support?
Yeah, so, when I say chaos, the chaos was all within me.
Okay.
So I've got an incredibly supportive family. I'm really close to my parents. I've got amazing friends who have been my friends since childhood. My husband, we've been best friends since we were 5. We're 17 years married next week.
That's so sweet.
He was incredibly supportive. I've got 2 amazing children. So as I say, on the outside, everything looks great. You've got everything. I couldn't live with me. I couldn't live. I didn't know how to manage emotions. I didn't know how to live life on life's terms. So I'd suffered with anxiety and depression for most of my life. There was a lot of trauma from a very young age, which I don't go into detail and I don't speak about publicly just because there's other people involved. And I live a life now where I don't harm anyone. I don't cause harm to anyone. So it's I've dealt with everything basically, any issues that I had. But there was trauma, and it was kind of repetitive trauma up until my early 20s. And then it was kind of, when the doctors put on antidepressants. And I thought, I'll just be on antidepressants for a short while. I wasn't. Then the antidepressants weren't doing enough for me. So I'd start using alcohol and other things just to try and numb my head, to try and silence my head. It was, I didn't know how to exist. My mind was just always racing. So yeah, from my 20s, I would say, I started to try and use these things. Like I always say, nobody grows up and wants to be an alcoholic or an addict.
Yeah.
It's the result of circumstances, of things that have happened, usually, almost always. The alcohol, drugs, whatever your vice may be, it could be gambling, it could be sex, it could be anything, whatever that is, you use that thing as a solution.
It's an escape, isn't it?
It is, massively, yeah. So it would settle over periods. When I say settle, it would be, sometimes I'd binge. It'd just be a binge and then I'd retreat from that. But I would say by the time COVID hit, that was when my addiction came and went, come on, I'll have you now. And yeah, it began, just being at home, not doing anything. And it was just pick the wine up, pick that up, pick that up. It was like sunshine. It was all fun and games in the beginning, wasn't it? It was, we were working at home. There was sun and everything like that. The drinking became earlier. I was always kind of known as a party girl. And I loved that. I was like, yeah, I'm always last girl standing. But what I would say is it's when the party starts to end and when it stops becoming going out, socialising and drinking or using or whatever it is. And it becomes me sat in my house on a Tuesday evening at 3:00 in the morning, crying into my glass. So it became, everyone asks what's your rock bottom? I would just say it became that the fun was over.
Yeah.
And it was try and save myself or just end it then, as I'd tried to do. I'd attempted suicide. I believed that this world would be better without me, that I was just a hindrance to everybody. And, that's the addiction. That's the chaos of your head telling you something that's completely not true.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You are so brave for sharing that.
It's hard work. Yeah. I still share my journey now. I share it, all the time because I feel like I owe that to people that have decided to take them on the journey with me. So I give updates. I'm sure some people go, oh, she's rambling on about being sober again. But you know
those
what?
are not your people then.
No, it's something I'm passionate about. I want to show people this is the change. This is the journey I've been on. Yeah. This is how I live my life today because it's a complete, I think you knew me before, Claire. It's a complete 360 turnaround. I am I say to myself every day now, who even am I? Because I'm learning about myself every single day and I love me now. I can actually say I love me and I love my life.
Wow, I love that. It's incredible, isn't it?
And more people need to say that, that they love themselves.
Yeah, I want them to see that if you put the hard work in, if you put the effort in, if you get the help, you can do it too. I'm not just some miracle. Yeah. Well, I feel like I am a miracle that's happened, but it can be done by anyone.
I think you are a miracle, going from suicidal thoughts to empowering thoughts and not letting intrusive thoughts take over your life. That's you are a miracle. Like, that is incredible. And for you to have done that yourself, that's just, and again, I know you had support around you, your family. That's just so important. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
What do you find most fulfilling then about the work that you do? Tell us a little bit of a case study about the work that you do now.
Yeah, so I love helping people, and it sounds so cliche, but I love seeing growth. I think that's a whole passion of mine. You know, I love seeing anyone win. I love being a small part of that journey with them. So that's my whole purpose, and my recovery journey fits into that with business. Like, you know, I have tools in my toolbox that I can use today to go, okay, let's not overreact to that. Let's think about this. Let's look at this situation and that situation. Real open-mindedness and conversational as well. I think business owners have something in their head and I'll ask them questions and get the answers to try and find out, but is that really what you want? Because I talk a lot about what our head says. Like, I play a little game with my head. So I'm like, shut up, shush. Because it lies to me all day. Like, honestly, your head will just lie to you all day long. It will go, eat that cake, do this, don't get up early in the morning, lie in bed. It will just tell you all these things.
So when you said then about you are the one who says to yourself, is that really what, you know, I want? That reminded me so much of you in terms of on our photo shoots that you do. You know, you guide, and I didn't know what we wanted. And you swooped in and you know, you guided us through that. So I think you supporting yourself and saying, you know, is this what you want? Asking that question. I think as a business owner, asking that same question to your clients, again, that's just so important.
It's trying to get out of them their purpose as well. Like, as I said before, I see so many business owners and they're basically just being an employee of their own business. It's like, did you go into business for this? To just be able to take home really minimum salary every month, like, and have all this stress and work all the hours, or what do we want to do? What's the goal?
It's the mindset, isn't it? And just knowing that you are worth it.
Yeah.
You know, and loving yourself, it comes back to it constantly. You have to love yourself, and that's kind of the road to empowerment.
It is, yeah. The only thing I work on today is me, myself, and I. I used to look at everything in the world and think really controlling behaviour. You find that with a lot of alcoholics, addicts. It's like they want you to be like this and they want that to be like that because it works for them. And now I don't look at anything in the world or anyone. I just look at me, and as long as I am truly me and authentically me every day, the world takes care of itself.
Oh, we need a box of tissues. We really do.
I love that.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So if you could be remembered for one thing, that sounds a little bit morbid.
Am I going somewhere?
If you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be?
It would definitely be empowerment.
Yeah.
I think motivational. To say she never gave up. Because that story could have been very different. As I explained, I wanted to give up many times. So it would definitely be someone who's led the way for change and turned it all around from that to this, and to who knows where I'm going next.
It also reminds me of what you said about that social media post that you put on there. Right?
Yeah.
I think that is so brave of you, and I think you're going to be remembered for that, because people don't do that.
Yeah,
People always just show one side of it.
I hope that tide's changing a bit with that as well. I've had loads of people on LinkedIn, tons of people who've privately messaged me and said, asked for support from me, told me they're not ready to, speak their story and they're just confused. I've had family members reach out to me of alcoholics and addicts and say, what can I do? I don't talk about that because that is private. I would never ever do that, but that's something I've got from it, which is amazing, just to have this, like, all these private messages of a community on LinkedIn. I don't tell anybody that they need to share their story just because I did. That doesn't mean that's right for you.
Right for you, wasn't it?
No.
I love that. Thank you. So if you could spill the tea with anyone, who would you choose and why?
I think it would. This was a really hard question for me, but I think it would be Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, I'm a bit of a Gaga fan. No, not only do I love her music, I love her as a human being. I think she's super empowering. She took knock after knock after knock and never ever gave up. She lives the life that she wants to live, and I love that.
That's incredible. That's amazing. So I'm going to ask the last question.
Oh boy.
Because this is really, it does
This
mean
is
a
the
lot to me.
hardest
This is
question.
probably the hardest
Yeah,
question to
it
answer.
is,
But
yeah.
on the show, we do have a closing tradition. And I know Cal's not here, but don't let that sway you, okay? So you are
I'm
either
on Cal's
Team
team,
Cal,
yeah.
Myra's standing in for Cal, or Team Claire. So we want to know, if you were
This
to
is hard.
make, if you were to make the perfect cup of tea, how would you make it?
Never ever milking before the tea bag's out. Like that's like a red flag for me. Major red flag. So it would definitely be tea bag in hot water, squeeze the tea bag, add sugar or sweetener if that's what you do, milk last.
Okay, so you're Team Cal, Laura. And I genuinely thought
Claire.
you were going to be Team Claire, but
You're wrong.
You're Team Cal.
It
and
makes
you know
sense. Like I just don't see any
Myra.
other point of view. Like, I
You
just
want-
don't get it.
Do you want to come back?
I do. I really like this.
Team Claire, add the milk. Okay, so Cal is a firm believer in that the milk should never meet the tea bag, where I'm more, how do you get the right colour without adding the milk in and then having a little look and then coming back from it? So you are Team Cal, so congratulations. I will pop that down and tell Cal she might just have one for today. We never know. But thank you so much
Thank
for being
you.
an amazing guest and for sharing such an empowering journey with us. I know this is going to help so many of our audience. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.